Greetings viewers, it's NYC Resistance. In this video I have yet another stop and frisk. So I watched these two cops. They parked on the corner and they waited for this young man to get to where they were, and then they just hopped out the car and basically frisked him. I mean, for no reason. I mean, as you can see, this is what they do again and again and again. When it's a young black or Latino male, more than likely the NYPD is going to stop them and look for a reason to write a ticket or arrest them. That's just how it is. But we constantly have Mayor Bloomberg telling us that their motives are for altruistic reasons. They love your children. They're here to keep them safe and secure. And they want nothing but the best for us. So that's why they do it. I mean, just total liars. Total deceit. Total deception. So, I mean, I don't understand why, like, every young black or Latino or minority person, or even, you know, even the poor have to go through this. Why do people have to know what it is to feel like to be a criminal in prison? You know, and have another man or a woman put their hands all over your body for absolutely nothing. I mean, they lie to you. They said that they say that you fit a description, or they saw a furtive movement. I guess that's suspicious movement. You know, just a bunch of vague reasons to have their way with you and just stuff you into a prison cell so they could meet their quota. They could care less about you. They just, you know, they want to meet their quotas or their productivity goals, so they call them. But they could care less about you. I mean, it took me a while I was in denial myself, and I'm the one recording. At first I thought that it was just a small rogue group of cops, but now I realize this is police practice. This is just how it is. I mean, can you imagine this going on in a Jewish neighborhood? You couldn't, I mean, they wouldn't even allow you to spray a SWAT sticker on one of their storefronts. You couldn't even get away with that, let alone the NYPD constantly putting their hands on their children. They would lock down the city. You know, and here we are buying their lame excuses that it's because they love us and they're trying to keep us safe. You know, we could march until our feet bleed. We could march all the way to Canada. You know, peaceful marching and silent protest is not gonna let the NYPD stop. Bloomberg is going to keep on saying that it's for our own good, it's to keep us safe, and it's because he loves us. These people are habitual liars. You know, this is how that man became a billionaire, by being a professional liar. You know, that's what he is. He does. You think does that look like they're protecting your children? Is that helping your kids when it's your kids they're targeting? When as soon as they see anybody who's young and black or Latino, those are the people that they ambush on dark, desolate streets, so they don't get recorded, so they don't get caught. That's why when people need help and you know you have a real emergency, the police are never around, because they're out there revenue generating, trying to write tickets and make arrests so that they could be promoted and, you know, and look good to their superiors. You know, they like targeting kids. They love giving little children summonses, you know, knowing that they can't afford it. You know, now that school's out, they know there's a lot of kids outside, so they're going to be writing these tickets like hotcakes. And those kids are going to look for a way to pay these summonses by stealing purses, muggings, stealing iPads and iPhones in the subways. And the news is going to just show you the victims, and you're never going to see the cause of the problem. You know, that the NYPD is out there targeting those that are unable to afford this mass extortion. These are little kids that were drinking at a fountain in a park that was closed, and all of them got summonses. It's like that Spider-Man movie where Peter Parker, he went to the Fight Club manager and he shorted him some money. Then the guy came in to rob him, and Peter Parker allowed the guy to escape when he could have stopped him. And then the thief ended up running outside and shooting his Uncle Ben. This is what happens when we ignore criminality, we ignore injustice because we feel like it doesn't affect us. It ends up affecting us in the long run when the victims, those that have been made desperate, go out there and do things out of desperation and end up hurting you or someone you love, trying to recoup what the NYPD has taken from them. It's like these NYPD cops that rob your home when they make $80,000 a year. Those are real criminals. Or former Mayor Giuliani, his daughter, she goes into midtown stores and shoplifts. Or Greg Kelly, accused of raping a lawyer, and because he's the son of Police Commissioner Ray Kelly, he never does a day in jail. All the charges are dismissed, dropped, and he goes right back to work. While the rest of us have to constantly be harassed, constantly have to prove that we're innocent. Those who get the finger pointed at them by a real life victim, it gets swept under the rug. Hence the name Justice. It just affects us, not them. And none of the money that they generate goes to help any community anyway. They're steady closing schools, laying people off, closing firehouses. Every second, the government might shut down and budget cuts and this and that. Where's all the money that y'all get from the 7.1, million people in prison? Like what's going on? You're closing everything. Always claiming you don't have any money when this court system is all about money. You go in there and the judge tells you got to pay a certain amount plus a surcharge, gives you 2 weeks to pay, and more than likely the people have to go out there and rob and steal to get the money, or there's going to be a warrant issue for their arrest. That's what extortion does. It makes people do desperate things. People that are normally good, people that normally have a good heart, it makes them go out there and rob and steal. That's why, like, everybody that gets robbed, they don't always get killed, because the person robbing them, it was genuinely a good person before they was put into that desperate situation. Only psychopaths like the NYPD go out there and shoot people in their chest for no reason because they want to know what it feels like to kill somebody. That's why, home invasions are going through the roof. Every night we turn on the news, there's 3 or 4 robberies that they report. A lot more, but they can only report so much. It's because the mass ticket extortion that's going on in New York City under NYPD. NYPD are the enforcers to all these policies and codes, and they go into stores, they set people up, they sell them stolen iPods and iPhones and then claim they said it was stolen. Send undercover cops in to buy a beer and say that the person never carded them. Right now, I came across another undercover police car. They train all these cops to be brainless and just blindly follow orders. They sick them on certain people, and they tell them, hey, certain people don't deserve to be protected by the Constitution. Much like what Hitler did to the German soldiers when he told them the Jews aren't human, they deserve to die. If you want to live in peace and utopia, we have to round these people up and terminate them. And they went along with it. So that's what the NYPD's productivity goals are all about. It's about sicking black cops, Latino cops, taking white cops out of Long Island, bringing them here, and just sicking them on blacks, Latinos, and the poor, and seeing if they'll go along with it. And they are. These cops will do anything for some power, unmarked police car, a gun, and a badge. They'll do it. They don't care. They're out there hunting little kids, breaking their necks, looking for the next person to get to pull over. And this is all under Obama. Our supposed savior. Now he's mandating that we all buy health care. How is this a communist country where the state dictates what we have to buy? It's not like they're preventing people from getting sick. It's not like they're making sure the food supply is all organic and there's no poison in there. There's no fluoride in the water. There's no GMO. The BPA's out the plastic. You know, the reason why everybody's getting sick, getting cancer, diabetes, Alzheimer's is because of what we're eating. You know, what we're being exposed to. And now they want to tell us that, you know, if you don't take the vaccines and get autism and Alzheimer's, then you're a lazy American that doesn't want to buy health care. I mean, you're the ones that's making us sick. It's like I break your legs because I own a crutch company, so you have to buy crutches from me. You're the ones that made me sick. You know, you make the organic food sky high and the food with the ammonia in it. That's the only thing I could afford now that the economy is hitting rock bottom. You know, we're in a depression right now. And we got these, I mean, just secret police roaming around. I remember when I could walk by a precinct and just see 1 or 2 undercover cars. Now you see about 15 out there. They're actually replacing the marked cars. The marked cars are becoming ceremonial. They're just there to say, you know, oh yeah, this must be a precinct because there's a few NYPD cars here. But the undercover cars, there's more of them than anything else. And they're driving anything nowadays. Camrys, SUVs. I mean, you name it. Just the element of surprise to just scare you out of your shoes. And I mean, they like it when you're scared of them. They'll be like, "Are you scared? Are you all right?" They like it. They get a thrill out of it. All right, now they stopped yet another teen. This one has a white T-shirt on, unlike the other one that had a black T-shirt on. So I don't know what the excuse is now. This is all within a 5-minute period within a 7-block radius. I'm on 125th Street right now, and I think I was on 120 something in Madison in the previous stop, and that car that was making a U-turn, that was also on 125th Street. So now they stopped another kid on his bike because somehow they're keeping you safe by subjecting you to prison style stop and frisk. I mean, there's homosexual cops that are getting arrested molesting young boys, and we got cops from outside areas putting their hands on our kids. You know, so I don't understand how this is making us safe. You know, all under Obama. Now he says he wants $1 billion for his reelection campaign, as though we can't tell by your 4 years what you're going to do. You know, we understand that you're not bringing any change. You're just going to launch more wars and put more restrictions upon us and force us to buy mandated health care when there's 15 million Americans unemployed and can't possibly buy health care. You know, now you want to brainwash us to ignore that you basically lied when you was running for president. You lied 4 years ago when you told us things would get better. You giving all the money to banks, and now when people go for loans, we can't get it. If you did such a good job, just seeing your name on the ballot box would get people to want to, you know, vote for you again. You know, but apparently you need that money for brainwashing through the media. You know, you launch more wars, you cause millions of deaths. You signed the National Defense Authorization Act, which allows Americans to be arrested with no trial, no jury, even proof. And now you're forcing people to buy health care when you're not even going after the companies that are making us sick, or, you know, spraying our crops with toxins. I mean, this is madness. I mean, it's all about the cure and not about the cause. It's all about the effects and not about the cause. You know, it's all about making us, you know, ask for help when they cause the problem. So they can say, okay, we'll give it to you. We'll give you what you want. You know, more drugs to patch you up and make you suffer peacefully. You know, more police on the streets to watch your every move. Find reasons to ticket you, and I mean it's crazy, guys. And this is how they treat our kids. This is how they protect your kids, by treating your kid like an actual criminal that is behind bars. These cops, they come all the way from Long Island, 50 miles away, to come here to put their hands on your kid, so your kid gets desperate and turns to a life of crime because he's been treated like a criminal his entire childhood. And then he starts mugging people, and they don't know why people are desperate. It's because we're targeted our entire childhood by the very people that claim they're here to protect and serve us and keep us safe. You know, that's the truth of it. And their answer is more police. We're just gonna flood the streets with more police. We're not gonna create more jobs. We're gonna continue to ship them to India, China, Indonesia, and we're just gonna put police on every corner. So, when you get desperate and you try to find a way to make money without paying permit fees and licensing fees that are, way unaffordable for anybody, we'll be right there to ticket or arrest you. They're locking down everything. They're sending these cops into stores, arresting store owners, and harassing cab drivers, just raising fees on everything. They don't want you to survive. They don't want you to make it. They want to impoverish you. They want you on welfare. They want you dependent on them so you can become the welfare class. And then they can mandate, they can dictate what you get, what you don't get. If they want you to get a vaccine, they'll say, all right, we'll cut your food stamps. You better get vaccinated. Or don't do this. If you don't do what we tell you, we'll just cut your rat. We'll just ration what you have or take it away or stop helping you. And this is the only time they leave you alone, is after you have lost everything. You lost your house, your car, your dignity, your self-respect, your will to live. This is where they want us. Those other incidents I just recorded all in the same night. I'm like right around the corner from the last Stop and Frisk I just showed you, and you have older men just strewn all over the sidewalk, just laying on the asphalt on the street. They don't got to worry about police harassing them. They've already been destroyed. That's it. That's the whole point of this. That's the whole point of the government and the police constantly interfering with your life, is to create so much pressure and turmoil that you literally give up. You can only take so much before you give up and give in. It's what it's all about. It's about destroying those who have something to offer, and those who don't, either let them rot on the street or stuff them in jail and tell the taxpayers, hey, we apprehended a dangerous criminal, and unless you give us $50,000 a year in your tax money to keep this person in the cage, we're going to have to turn them loose back in society. The only thing is that when these people, are incarcerated for years, sleeping with one eye open, because they don't want to get stabbed up or killed, they're only acknowledged as a body or a number. Next thing you know, they're released back into society as an animal, as a real savage that you can't even bump into by accident. You can't even step on their sneakers. They'll want to kill you. That's what incarceration does. Total destruction on every level, on every plane of reality. This is what they're doing, and they use the war on drug as a basis to do this when the troops in Afghanistan are posing in large poppy fields. Geraldo Rivera interviews troops that are growing the opium, and they're saying that, hey, we have to help the Afghanis grow the opium, or the Taliban's going to get it, and to finance terrorism. Meanwhile, at the same time, all of a sudden we have this huge influx of heroin in places like Long Island, places where you would never see heroin. Dirt cheap, extra potent, getting everybody hooked. This country's being destroyed by design. They're shipping in all the drugs. You have CIA, you have LA police saying that the CIA was recruiting them to traffic drugs throughout the city. You have countless cops saying, yes, we have a quota. Yes, we're only here to to arrest you and put you in jail. No, we're not here to keep you safe. I mean, at least 5 NYPD cops have done interviews saying that, hey, we're here to enslave you. We're here to impoverish you. We're here to hunt you. 5 NYPD cops: Adil Palenko, Adrian Schoolcraft, McMahon, and others. I mean, if you won't believe cops, then I guess you deserve your enslavement, and you might as well just pay your Obamacare. If you don't pay it, pay the fines and penalties and surcharges. If get on welfare. If you don't want to take your RFID chip, then you'll get your food cut. And you'll have to stay in a FEMA camp. Don't believe it. Don't believe cops. Don't believe your eyes. Don't believe anything. You know what I mean? Just lay down and wait for it to happen. Y'all take care.